Hi Taurus, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your general messages for May 31st to June 6th, which is my birthday. So since I am a Gemini, and the Lover's card is a Gemini energy, I'm giving 20% off all of my lover spreads. You're going to find a coupon. I can't speak. Mercury Retrograde. Hello. We're going to find a 20% coupon code in the description box below, which you will also find the timestamp for the relationship only portion of this reading. I'm going to start with a general message that's going to hit on all aspects of life. It could have anything to do with relationship, career, family situation, anything that's going on. So let's get right into this. We're starting this week on the 31st with a lovely Mars in Cancer, trining Neptune and Pisces energy, a very sort of spiritual, mystical energy, Taurus. You're going to be feeling this between your 3rd and 11th houses. So what does that mean? It's like communication with friends. You might even be communicating with someone new. 3rd house is the house of Gemini. It's communication, but it's all modes. So you might even be connecting with somebody online. You might even be connecting with something online that is going to be part of your 5-year, 10-year, a 5-year plan, 10-year plan, 20-year plan. Because 11th house, this dynamic between the 3rd and 11th house, the 11th house has to do with your friends, people who you choose to associate with, but it's also the house of goals and gains. You know, where are you going in your life? What do you want to do? It also has to do with the gains that you make. Maybe if you have your own business, the money that's coming in from your own business. So in that energy, that's where Neptune and Pisces is going to be. So there's a lot of dreamy, airy, fairy sort of energy around it. That is such a Neptune and Pisces energy. It's where we allow ourselves to dream. We have Breathe, beautiful's first card up. But at the same time, you know, we have this Mars and Cancer energy. Mars is this warrior planet, right? Come on, let's go. Fresh path, new perspective. But Cancer is very focused on feeling very grounded, rooted, safe, secure. It's like, I want to move forward, but I'm not sure. Is this good for me, right? But it's this idea of, you know, come on, let's move forward in something that is good for us, right? And that's in a beautiful, comfortable, complementary aspect, right? That trine energy with this energy to allow yourself to go there and allow yourself to dream. It's a really nice energy on the 31st. Actually, I feel like all the way up until the 5th, beautiful, beautiful energy. The end of the week is still good. It's just going to get a little trippy, and you may be asking why. Yeah, you might be asking why, and we'll talk about that. Those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Jackie. Thank you for stopping by. I post videos every week for all 12 signs, typically at the beginning of the week. Okay, and I always incorporate astrology with the tarot messages, as well as some numerology and whatever else I feel called to pull in. So we have courage. We have Breathe, Why, and Courage. Wow, cool beans. Let's get right into this. Let's pull a Celtic cross spread, and then we'll pull clarifiers as we go along. Let's just see. You need to sort of like breathe, take a step back, and look at why. And listen, I mean, no better time to do that than when Mercury is retrograde, right? So we have the 5 of Swords, and that's being crossed by the Page of Cups. We have the 8 of Wands as the crowning. 8 of Pentacles is the foundation. 9 of Pentacles in the recent past. Okay, so definitely focusing on getting a very sort of business, family even vibe here. I don't know. Let's see what we get. So we have the 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles is about comfort, feeling comfortable, feeling a sense of accomplishment and success in something that you're working on yourself. So you might be, if you're single and not in relationship, feeling really amazing about just being you, doing you in your life. You're not needing a relationship. Some of you are feeling very focused on being able to push some idea forward in your life that you're working on. Maybe you're looking to launch something, some sort of business launch, start your own business, take an idea, push it forward. Really nice energy here. But a lot of you might just be simply working on yourselves, right? Because it's also that energy, right? It's putting a lot of effort into yourself And because Pentacles is mental, physical, emotional connection, and there is this idea of self, so doing a lot of work to yourself and then meeting a really healthy connection after doing a lot of that solid work on yourself, right? Because 9 is the number of productivity, and it's about integrating the body, the mind, and the spirit, right? It's a Venus and Virgo energy. Very nice. So this is where I see you in the recent past. So either really thinking a lot about how you're going to develop your money, how you're going to make some sort of improvements. What I like about this is there's this vision I'm getting of you just paying very close attention to how you could be the best version of you within any situation that's in your life right now, which is very, very positive. So a lot of positive communication going on here on June 2nd. For you guys, this is going to be the Venus entering Cancer energy is going to be in your 3rd house. So again, that idea of the 3rd house again. 3rd house, what is it? It's all modes of communication, like I mentioned, all modes. Online, written, verbal, whatever. It's also your neighborhood, where you live, your neighbors, short distance travel, learning something new, like the beginning stages of learning something new. It also has to do with your siblings, okay? So Venus is going to make you maybe more nurturing and just more empathetic, and just a little softer in the way you communicate and in the way you handle these things. But at the same time, there's going to be this this subcontext, right, that is going to be driving all of your communication with the big answering the big question: how safe do I feel in this? How good is this for me? Right, and that being sort of the foundation of all of your communications right now. Now on the 3rd, you have Sun in Gemini trining Saturn in Aquarius, and this is a great time to focus on your future goals, your long-term plans, particularly because you have this hitting your 2nd house of money and things that matter to you, what you value, your sense of self, your self-esteem. And it's going to be trining your 10th house of career, public reputation, and standing in the world. So this is a nice energy, right? The Sun in Gemini is a focus in that space, right? And it's trining the Saturn, your ability to work at something in a different way. So you're going to be thinking about, Taurus, how you could approach something differently. That job, that career, that idea that you want to nurture and cultivate, that marriage, that relationship, the family situation, whatever it is. I really like this for you. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have, your own set of challenges, but what I like is the weather, right? The astrological weather for you this whole beginning of the week, I think, is really nice. June 3rd, we have Venus in Cancer trining Jupiter in Pisces for you. That's between your 3rd house of communication and your 11th house of goals and gains, where it is that you're going, right? It's that same energy of the 31st that I mentioned about Mars in Cancer trining Neptune in Pisces. You also have that going on. Venus in Cancer trining Jupiter in Pisces. So nice energy here. I like it. Beautiful, sort of good luck, optimistic, really nice energy. Excellent for those of you who are looking to maybe meet somebody online. Really nice energy there. So remember, 11th house is Aquarius. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus rules technology. So that's sort of like underneath whatever we're getting here. So we have as a foundation right now, we have the 5 of Swords, and that's being crossed by the Page of Cups. So we have the 5 of Swords as an interesting energy because it comes up in your spread, but it really has to do with an experience that you're having with something external to you. So this clash of desires and reality, what it is that you're really wanting and the life that you're really living within that relationship, that job, that family situation, whatever it is in conflict. And it's creating tension. And that tension's not going to go away, but you can't fix it. Not at least on your own. Because it's like the person or the situation that you're dealing with, you don't have full control over it. You don't have really any, you only have control over you. So you can't mitigate somebody else's stuff, I would say, right? You can't fix the unfixable. So you're much better off just sort of like stepping back and saying, you know what? All right, let me just step back from this. You're going to have a hard time doing it because we have the 5 of Swords. This is some sort of conflict, but you're trying to have this good conversation, Taurus. So it can be very frustrating. For some of you are going to resonate with it like that. Like you're dealing with somebody that's just not seeing either your side or something very clearly. There's something that you feel like somebody is missing. and how something needs to be handled moving forward. And it's difficult because you're in the space where you just want to have a really open and honest and mutually supportive conversation, but you're dealing with this very challenging energy. You know, it's like, you know, very difficult. You know, you want to, I'm seeing like you being a lot more glass half full kind of energy, which I like, because you're really allowing the supportive energy to sort of, I feel like, energetically work inside of you, which is nice. But you're dealing with some sort of confliction. Now, the confliction can be with someone else, like a person, or it could be that the stuff that you can't mitigate is something bigger than you. For example, like let's say you can't make somebody call you back about a job offer. You can't make somebody call you back to want to give you money to invest in your business. You can't make, you know, maybe you want to just go out and socialize and meet people in person, but you know, we're not totally open yet everywhere. Do you know what I mean? Where it's a larger societal thing that's blocking you. But what's good is the crowning energy, which is the best to be achieved. We have the Eight of Wands. So I like this because this is good news coming in. Lots of busy communication. This is great if you've been feeling held back or stuck waiting for something here in right now in the current situation, right? This is about growth, right? Really good energy, growth coming in. Really good news about love, especially if you've been separated. Very nice energy for that. But this, like for this week, I get why we're getting this confliction. And I really want to refer more to like June 5th, because we have a couple of things going on in June 5th that I feel like are informing the current situation here. Is on the 5th between, first of all, you have Mercury in Gemini, Mercury's retrograde in Gemini, and it's squaring Neptune and Pisces. This is the second time this pairing has squared this year so far. So this is, and it's between your second house of money that you make, things that you value, your sense of self, and that 11th house of goals, everything that we addressed before, right? So it's, you know, money having to do with where it is that you want to go. It's how do you feel about being in that relationship. It's checking your value system versus where are you going. Your value system against your friend groups, the people that you are involved with, right? So is it aligning? And there's this squaring where no, right? Now, this is the thing. You want to try to just get all the facts before you make any sweeping decisions, right? You have to keep your mind open and try your best not to make any sweeping decisions about where you're going, who you're going with, your friends, all of that, okay? Just a little bit of a trippy energy right now. If you could just avoid making any big sweeping decisions right now, at least for this week, that would be great. Now, also on June 5th, you have Mars in Cancer, again in that third house energy, opposing Pluto and Capricorn in your ninth house of belief system, of negotiation, of in-laws. So there could be some sort of aggressive aspect that could lead to either hurt feelings or dramatic arguments having to do with siblings, third house, in-laws, ninth house. It could have to do with that if it's a family thing going on. There could also be some sort of argument about something that you're looking to negotiate, some sort of business deal. Third house is signing on the dotted line. Ninth house is where the negotiation happens, right? So it could have something to do with that. It could also have to do with, you know, you're communicating with somebody and you might be realizing that they're not aligning with your belief system. You know, it could be something like that. Again, this idea of early education, higher education, traveling locally versus traveling far, right? Is that ninth house is foreign land, foreign cultures, long distance travel. Third house is your neighborhood, where you live. So a lot of you might be in this tension of you really want to go on a trip, but you can't. You know, it could just simply be that. But some sort of good news is going to be coming in to help rectify that. Now, what I like about the Eight of Pentacles, getting this as a foundation energy, is this is a very grounded energy. This is a sun in Virgo. Virgo's an earth sign, but it's ruled by Mercury. So this is you focusing on responsibilities in a very diligent and hardworking way. It's like money or connection is on its way as a result of your previous efforts. So you really want to take the opportunity for furthering yourself in some way, right? Because 8 is the number of mastery. So whether it's education, some sort of skill set via, I just feel like it could be anything, because we have 3rd house, 9th house here. So we could be learning something new, maybe through a workshop or a webinar or something like that. Or maybe you're choosing to go back to school. That would be more 9th house. It could be any of those. But in general, it's this call for a very logical, a very diligent approach in your work and or your mental, physical, and emotional connections. It's almost like a slow and steady wins the race kind of thing, but your eyes are wide open, right? Because the sun, that shows the focus in Virgo. Virgo is a very critical energy, but it's also about solving problems, right? So information comes in and there's going to be a lot of communication about how can we solve those problems. But because we have the Mars in Cancer and it's opposing Pluto in Capricorn between your 3rd and 9th house, don't be surprised if things seem a little, I'm not even going to say not clear, but you may not have all of the information available to you. Now, you're the Knight of Swords energy. So this is very interesting, because if this is you, this is showing up in your situation, expect the unexpected. Period. That's what I'm telling you. Expect the unexpected. The energy that's surrounding you, we have the King of Swords. King of Swords is focusing on the mind instead of your heart to take charge of your circumstances. So I feel like some sort of communication is going to be coming in. You're going to be very logical. There's a very logical vibe to your energy, I feel like, this week, that I'm not getting with a lot of the other signs. Very logical. Very logical. And you know what? We got the devil energy in your block and your challenge. You might be really very, very eyes wide open when it comes to recognizing someone's imbalances. The imbalance within a relationship, the imbalance within a business connection, a family member, where you're like, whoa, this is a thing and I'm not even sure how to handle it because it's in your block. But I see you saying, all right, let me sit down and make sure I don't do anything flippantly. Let me make sure that I'm handling this the right way. Because let me tell you what I'm seeing here. This is in your psychology position. So in your inner psychology, and it's your challenge and block. So this could be you having to deal with a family member, a lover, a partner, a business associate, anybody in your life who has any of the following: addiction, narcissistic tendencies, the potential for betrayal, backstabbing, cheating if it's in relationship, betraying you, being very two-faced if it has to do with a family or business situation. You get the idea here. It's all about imbalance, and there's this energy of shackling. And this is very interesting to me because this is the second time this has come out in a reading where I have that this next card. This is where your psychology is. The Lover's energy, the Devil energy, first of all, is also the Lover's energy in numerology, okay? And obviously then the Lover's is also the Devil energy. So what does this mean? It means that there's a call in somewhere in your life where there must be balance. And I'm going to get even more specific with it because we have the King of Pentacles here. If somebody is looking to change you, or if somebody is looking to take what is rightfully yours, as in an inheritance situation, a business arrangement, anything like that, an investment, the sale of something, in a relationship, if somebody is with you for your money, if somebody thinks you're with them for their money, it's this energy of having no patience for anyone who's looking to take what's his. Now, obviously, gender doesn't matter here. So there's got to be this fairness because the Lovers here as the final outcome is all about choice. But the choice has to happen through recognition. What this looks like is we have a problem and we have to figure out why. We have to figure out where is the imbalance. And we have to say that together we're going to work on getting rid of the clouds, the conflict in the situation. If we could agree to do that, business partner, family member, husband, wife, intimate relationship, sibling, whatever, Archangel Raphael is going to bless it. If we're not on the same page, we're never going to be able to come together. But I feel like you're dealing with an energy, Taurus, who's trying to take something that does not rightfully belong to them. So whether maybe you feel like you're getting, outbid, undersold, somebody's just being really unfair with something of value, some sort of resource, something like that, or they're coming in and they're trying to change you. They're just trying to change you. I need you to be more this. Well, wait. Well, that's not who I am, but I need you to be. Well, okay. Well, maybe you need to look at yourself, because you might be looking at me to fill something inside of you that you need to address, and it has nothing to do with me. So even if I did change, you would still be a mess. That kind of thing. You know what I mean? Okay, so cross watchers won't like that comment, but that's what's coming to me. All right. So let's see what we have here. Very nice. Okay, let's see. All right, so I'm getting a couple of different messages. So for some of you, there is this recognition that things absolutely need to be more balanced. And there's this commitment to moving away from anything that's toxic, right? Departing from that, right? So now some of you may be saying, all right, my decision in this lover's energy, because this is a general reading, my decision in this lover's energy is that I need to be out of this because I feel an absolute, let me just go with this one first. I feel an absolute sense of lack in this connection. I don't feel like I get the support. I'm not getting the connection. I don't feel like I'm being paid enough in this job, whatever it is, right? And that's the choice kind of coming here. And it's you saying, all right, that's how I feel, right? And then we have the Hangman Reverse, though. You want to be careful because you need to reevaluate your experience here and see what you want to do, or if what you want to do or what you expect is actually a realistic possibility. So you want to be careful of very rigid thinking, or being martyred in a situation, because you might be dealing with this kind of energy showing up in someone else, right? Someone else saying, but what about me and my needs and all of that, right? You want to see if some kind of fantasy or false narrative isn't being held on to right now, right? So you want to look over things with clear eyes, a lot of honesty, and see if you can't maybe just pull yourself away from a situation that ultimately is not going to be able to give you what it is that you want, right? And you may be in this space. Now, some of you may be actually pulling away from this energy for those very reasons, and somebody else where they're claiming victimhood, or they're saying, what I always have to put up with this, right? That kind of thing. Others of you are going to be in the space where you're recognizing, you know what, if I stay in this, I have to stop trying to sell myself a story that's not meant to happen regarding this relationship. And then we have the Magician energy, right? Or this job, or that situation, that family situation. Then we have the Magician is straight up Mercury. Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. So it's having a conversation and communication to move something forward. So if this has to do with relationship, communication is really, really good here. Any issues or problems are resolved through a really a deeper understanding of each other's needs and what's really going on, being able to be very empathetic, which is nice. If this has to do with a career or money situation, this is a beginning or a new approach, a new direction for some of you in career or the approach to a situation. This can indicate somebody coming in and helping, though, too. So Magician can also indicate like a lawyer or somebody who's able to inspire a really positive outcome. It could be a marriage counselor, it could be a really good therapist, it could be a lawyer, anybody like that, or just you having this beautiful, open and honest conversation. And what are you talking about, and what are you discussing here is this need that you feel to take care of yourself, your body, your mind, your soul, your finances. Just take care of you, right? Queen of Pentacles is a great energy. Now, for some of you, as an influence, this is a marriage card. This could also indicate money coming to those of you who are coupled. It could have to do with like good, positive financial turnaround. This could also have to do with getting pregnant for those of you who are resonating with it like that as a relationship, a very sensual sex life. But all of these things that I'm indicating here, it's really about taking care of your life in the most fundamental way, right? In order to be able to move forward in something. But it's, putting work into something. But some of you are going to be in the space where the Eight of Swords can be a tricky energy, right? Because you may feel these sense of restrictions. You might be feeling this element of restriction. And what are you feeling restriction in? Is this Ten of Pentacles. So restricted in being able to move forward and develop as a family, being able to move forward and develop that business. It's almost like a sticking point that you can possibly feel here. And I feel like this has everything to do with the Mars and Cancer opposing Pluto and Capricorn between your 3rd and your 9th house of communication and belief system, communication and negotiating, communication and where it is that you're going. A lot of you, again, the only reason I'm mentioning this idea of inheritance or anything like that is because, again, the 3rd house is siblings and 9th house is your in-laws. So we have extended family so there could be this kind of thing. That's how a lot of you are going to resonate with it. But it does seem like you're really going to have to take a couple of deep breaths. I thought about that before I remembered we have the breath card. Take a couple of deep breaths and just be really courageous right now, because it does seem like you're going to be dealing with a personality that's very difficult. This Knight of Swords, you expecting the unexpected, while being very focused on the truth of a situation, saying, okay, you know what, I really have to stay in my mental realm for this and not allow my emotions to get swept up. That automatically tells me that you're dealing with a challenging energy here. So that's what I see going on. It's, and I just, honestly, I feel like that is going to resonate with whatever you're going through, whatever it is, whether it's relationship, some sort of family situation, friendship, work, doesn't really matter. That's the energy of the week here, I'm feeling like. All right, that's what we have for that. Now let's go on to just relationship. Phoenix Rising. Somebody else got this. Who else got that? I think Aries did. So you might be dealing with an Aries. I feel like kind of in a way everybody should get the Phoenix Rising right now. I don't know. Just there's so much change going on. So this Mercury Retrograde is just going to be really important for everybody. Not in a big dramatic way. So we're really going to be taking stock of stuff. And I feel like energetically it has to do with several energies that are going to be lending to that. But it's the Mercury Retrograde because Mercury rules our mental realm, right? And our ability to communicate even with ourselves. So it's really pulling us down to a space of, all right, slow down and reflect, reevaluate, revisit, clean it up. Yeah. Oh, I like it. Let's throw the Astro dice. Let's see what's going on here. 12th house of the subconscious. We have the moon under. Yeah, a lot of emotions go. Ooh, we got Scorpio. Endings and beginnings. Transformation. This has to do. This is 8th house. This is other people's money. How you show up as a we in relationship. This has to do with payouts. It's a finance energy, right? But it has more to do with other people's money or money coming to you via if it's not an inheritance, it's insurance payout. Could have to do with your partner's money, but really it's about how you guys show up as a we in relationship. And then we have the moon. So the moon rules Cancer. So this is really looking at underneath, right? The motivations here, and really looking very clearly at any sense of confusion or disappointment, any areas where you may have felt let down in relationship, right? Because that disappointment or that confusion can end up bringing you to a lack of trust that a relationship can actually work in the long term. And you may be feeling this underneath things, right, in your subconscious 12th house. But the thing here is, Taurus, you want to make sure that you're telling yourself a straight narrative and not a false one. And what I mean by that, I'm not saying that you lie, whatever, to yourself. But what can happen here between the moon and the 12th house energy is the moon rules Cancer. And Cancer is the house of the stories that we tell ourselves. And sometimes those stories are based in how we feel rather than in the facts. And then we have it working with the 12th house, which is the Pisces house, ruled by Neptune. So it'd be through the confusion, we could feel like we're being victimized, we're being martyred. But really, in reality, and we could cause a lot of challenges, because wherever Scorpio and Pluto are in our chart, there's a lot of upheaval. So we can end up creating a lot of upheaval because of vulnerabilities and insecurities in the relationship that may not be fully based in reality. I'll give you an example of this. Like, let's say your partner typically calls you several times a day, and he or she only called you once a day for 4 or 5 days straight. All of a sudden your mind starts to spiral. I'm just giving this as a very basic example. Where they're still calling you, so you can't say they're not, but you know that something's different, but you can't quite put your finger on it. And if you say anything to them, they're like, no, what are you talking about? No, I'm fine. But you vibe something. It's almost like you know there's something else going on deeper underneath it, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? So it's based on that where your emotions can start to sort of spiral. And then, you know what I mean? Not that you become a crazy person, for goodness sake. That's not your jam anyway. I don't know what else is in your chart. But the Taurus archetype in general is not like that. But you know what I mean? It's just like being aware of what's going on. But Phoenix rising and clean it up. When we talk about cleaning it up, it means really looking at the stuff that you bring with you in relationship, right? And having a very honest look at it and see how those things might be or might not be impacting you in relationship. But I always say you can't clean up anybody else's yard. You can only clean up your own, right? So it's through that, though, through that cleaning up, that you're going to be able to have this Phoenix rising energy, which I feel like there's just so much. This is such a cool week, I feel like, as far as you envisioning where it is that your life is going, not only career, but also relationship, whatever it is. So we have the full energy coming in. So for some of you, this could be meeting somebody brand new. Maybe this is a new relationship that you're dealing with, or there's a new start, a new approach in a current relationship where you're just doing things differently than before. Going with the flow. Going with the flow. It's a Uranus energy, right? Now the situation right now, we have the Knight of Pentacles, and it's being crossed by the 8 of Cups. So the Knight of Pentacles, let's talk about this energy first of all, right? If this is a person that you're dealing with, very loyal and dependable energy. They have a lot to offer you, but they could be either a bit boring for you, or maybe not check all the boxes that you're looking to have checked, or meaning they could be very exciting, right? But maybe they're not as communicative as you would like, or there's something missing. There's something missing. They might be very slow to share their feelings. They're a good person. They're a very good person. But it's like something's off, right? But depending on where you're at and what you're looking for, this person can be your rock. But they might lack the either excitement or that thing that you're looking for to capture your heart for the long term in a really satisfying way. Here it really depends on where it is that you're at. The thing is, we have this work and we have this challenged by the 8 of Cups, which is about departure and change, and having the emotional intelligence to recognize that something doesn't feel right and it's time to move on, but it's challenged by that. meaning you're having a hard time moving away from this. It's not that you don't see, you see, right? But you're having a hard time processing it. Now we have the Five of Wands as the crowning energy. So this may definitely be, listen to me, may be a reason why you're feeling this way about this person. Perhaps there was an argument and you're sitting wondering after the argument, I don't know what the chances are of this actually working, you know? Because this is about competition, right? And where it's like one-upping each other, like a battle of the wills, lack of agreement, strong opinions. I do this, I pay for that, I do this, you do that, da-da-da. You know what I mean? And there's got to be this understanding, because it's a Saturn in Leo. It's like drawing a line in the sand. This is what I want, need, and desire, and that's it. Like, but them not respecting it, kind of thing. And then we have the Chariot energy. Chariot energy is about getting the hell away from all the toxicity. It's like, okay, no, I don't want to deal with. I just don't want to deal with the negativity. You know, you not want, and with whatever's going on here, it's expedited, right? And some sort of situation is likely to end because it's not ultimately good for you. Now, the reason I'm pausing is because this is the thing that I have to tell you. All right, how do I want to explain this? Oh, this is you want to make sure either what I'm about to say, Taurus, either you're feeling this or they're feeling this, okay? You're going to know if you are, and you will probably resonate with it as recognizing it as something that your partner might be going through. So it looks like something is a little left of center, a little off in the relationship. You're feeling it, they're feeling it, whether you guys are talking about it or not, it doesn't matter. The thing that's off, though, really may be within self. And there is this idea of looking for the other person to fill that gap within their soul. And because they're not having that need met, they don't want to look at themselves. You might not want to look at yourself. I'm just saying, okay, this could be a situation. And because of that, arguments are incited. Arguments end up over anything from a silly little thing to a very big thing. Because things are not going the way that you would like, or things are not going the way that they would like. And all of a sudden you guys find yourself in this space of arguing. But at the end of the day, if everybody just sat down and they were really honest, it's like you might be looking to them to fill some sort of hole in your soul, or they might be looking to you for you to fill some sort of hole in their soul, instead of everybody just being really honest and open about that. And I'm saying that particularly because we got the Scorpio energy. And a lot of times that's what happens here. It's this idea of feeling like something's not fair. So being so hyper-focused on the truth that in that gets lost the fact that somebody might be hyper-focusing on their own wants, needs, and desires and not what's best for the relationship and the situation. So however that would end up showing up. Now for you, Knight of Swords. So if this is you, expect the unexpected in relationship. Now, if this is an energy that you are personally dealing with, you're dealing with somebody who's very forthright, who fights for what they believe in. They get bored very easily and then they move on, right? And this person just creates a ton of drama and really doesn't take the responsibility for the reconciliation. And this is exactly the kind of energy that I'm talking about when we're talking about this 12th house moon and Scorpio energy. It's like from a subjective point, somebody is not showing up in the relationship the way that they think their partner should show up. And because of that, there's this fear, and the fear starts the arguments. And the arguments are not really rectified because the issue really is less about the other person and more about A, unhealthy communication, but also B, trying to have a need met by the other person. I hope that's not confusing. It's so clear in my mind, but I don't know if it's Mercury Retrograde, but I I feel like I'm not being as clear maybe as I should be or could be. Now we have the external energy that's surrounding you as the Tower. So this could be understood as two different ways. Look, keeping it real, Taurus, if you're the one who is the Knight of Swords energy, where you're feeling like in this space of conflict, you might recognize that something within you just needs to change. Even just your mindset, right? Where it's this necessary surrender. This necessary surrender. And you saying like, you know what? I don't want to be in this anymore. Or I don't want to do this to myself anymore. I don't want to keep doing this thing, because if I keep doing it, I'm going to keep getting what I got, right? If you keep doing what you did, you're going to keep getting what you got, kind of thing. And you saying, all right, that's it. I need to figure out a way to actually just move myself forward and out of this. So a lot of you are going to be thinking that in relationship, whereas others of you, the expect the unexpected is the ending of the relationship. It's like, boom, out of nowhere. For some of you, it could be a little bit of both, where you didn't even feel it inside of you a few days ago, maybe a few days before this, where all of a sudden you're like, I can't be in this relationship anymore. It's not what I want. This is not going to bring me what I want. Now your block, though, is the Emperor, right? And the Emperor is, you know, as a block, the Emperor is about you having a really hard time. I'm going to say like kind of like being a leader in your own life, right? Now there might be some struggle with immaturity here within this particular situation, or maybe there's no issue with immaturity and maybe there's just poor planning where you just ended it before really thinking it through, which typically things that are ended in Mercury retrograde are usually looking like that, right? It's like, that's it, I can't do it anymore. You don't want to do that, Mercury retrograde. Sometimes you have to, but if you could avoid it. Because typically there's more to the story, more to the situation than you're realizing in the moment. We have in the near future the Four of Pentacles. So there's security here. So focus on security, focus on self-protection, focus on self-improvement, focusing on yourself. Now for some of you, this is going to be just focusing on protecting your heart, protecting yourself, being very protective, not very open anymore, because now you're like, no, if I open myself, I'm going to get hurt, kind of thing. Others of you, you're looking to protect your money and your heart, right? Because the situation might be taking advantage of something like that. Four of Swords has you taking a step back, a little time out for perspective. Really nice energy to do some good work on yourself, or therapy, shadow work, anything like that. But at the very least, really good for stepping back to figure out a better strategy for moving forward, having to do with this particular relationship or situation that you're in. So we have the Seven of Cups, okay? So, and these are all, each card is clarifying the one before. So let's just pull and see if we can't get the... So when you're stepping back for this perspective and the Four of Swords energy, you're recognizing that you're confused, right? And there are choices in a situation that need to be made. There might even be some commitment issues here because you're just not sure what's real, what's not real. Is somebody delivering a lot of lip service with very little follow through? Are you in this space where you're just not sure where your feelings are at because of some sort of turn of events? Right? But you feel intuitively that you're at the beginning stages of this next something. You feel it right there. It's very, very real for you. Clarifying that is the Wheel of Fortune. So for some of you, this is having something to do with the past, because the wheel always is. But this is in numerology, this is the Magician and the Sun. It's a Jupiter energy. So it's about communication in order to make something happen. This has everything to do with fate, change, good luck, ultimately there being this turning point had, but you needing to take a chance. So some of you might be realizing somebody might be coming back from the past. It's like they magically reappear. Destiny's totally at work here. So that might be playing into this dynamic in some way. But it is about you taking some sort of chance and recognizing that there's a turning point that you're dealing with here. We have the Five of Pentacles. So there might be some testing of resources, financial issues in this situation, fear of financial issues, fear of losing your security. That might be a thing within this connection, or just a lot of pain because of this lack of connection. So we have the 5 clarified by the 5. We have 2 5s together. 5 is the number of conflict, but we get the 2 of 5s, these 2 5s together. There's a lot of internal conflict here because it's like something's ending before you feel really ready for it to end. So that's what I mean. Like, I feel like if anything's ending, if anything's askew, if anything's off, if anything is not good, Taurus, I feel like it's not based on hard facts. I feel like it's based on poor communication more than anything, or not looking at things in the full light of day, not knowing everything with this Mercury retrograde energy. You know what I mean? I just feel like this is what's going on for you. I just do. And you're being very protective of yourself, right? Because we have Mercury retrograde in your 2nd house. It's not only of money, but it's also of self-esteem and how you feel about being in something. So we have the Page of Cups. Page of Cups is coming in and saying, all right, you know, let's sit down and talk about this. Very emotional, very emotional. Some of you may be either meeting a new partner, or this could just simply be a new phase in your relationship where it's like, all right, let's sit down. Can we just share from the heart how overwhelmed everything has been? We're just overwhelmed. We have a million things going on in life. Family, career, whatever, kids, whatever situation you're at. It's like the energy of overwhelm, just overwhelmed. So there needs to be more time invested, more energy to work to smooth over any issues that need addressing in this relationship. There's got to be more attention given. And in that attention is good communication. You understand? So cleaning it up is about taking care of where is the overwhelm coming from? Where are these issues? Where's the confusion? Where is all of that coming from? It's got to be looked at. Now, some of you are going to be fixing the relationship, while others of you are going to be making the decision to go on your own, because whatever this has been is simply not meant for you. It's not meant for your highest good. Let me just pull a heart oracle so we can get some closing messages here. Can I have 2 cards for people who are in a long-term relationship and their intention is to work it out, please? Beware of what you're projecting, for the qualities you admire in one another are qualities you both possess. Equally so, the qualities you don't like are also your own reflection. I mean, that's all about mirroring, right? That 7th house energy. It's kind of what I'm talking about here too, as well as that's a version of this kind of misunderstanding. Look inside yourself. Examine what is causing you to feel this way. So those 2 cards are for those of you who are in a relationship and you're trying to work it out. Can I have 2 cards from Island Time Wellness for those who are making the decision to leave something? The sense of lack has become too great. Watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, focusing out. So not focusing on the right thing, and somebody saying, why do you feel like that? You have no right to feel like that. This is in your mind. Why do you keep making these things up in your mind? You're the issue, not me. You know what I mean? And then finally, palm tree. Stability, security, permanence, growth, endurance, flexibility. That's all you want. But you may not feel like you're getting it here. So either way, I feel like however you're resonating with this, this looks like a good thing. Whether you're moving out of it is going to ultimately be a good thing for you. Phoenix rising energy. Or if you are salvaging the relationship, you guys are going to be communicating to clean it up. If you don't want that, again, weather report here, guys. That's what this is. Take advantage of it. Don't take advantage of it. That's the energy we're getting. All right, my friend, thank you so much for joining me. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.